Well, good Wednesday evening to you, everyone. It is good to see you, and it is good to be seen by you. I am Bill Sylvie, the Dungeon Delver, and welcome to it, everyone. I hope you're all having an absolutely fantastic week so far. We made it to the halfway point, and I'm super duper excited about that. We have got a great show coming for you tonight. Kyle Schuant is going to be joining us this evening, and we are going to be playing the last in our session of live plays of Conflict, the role-playing game. What awaits our characters? And I say our characters because, guys, I'm not running the game. Kyle is running the game. I am subject to the whim of the dice as much as anyone else here at the table. And so welcome, everybody. Kabuki Kid, good to see you. Local Gumby, Michael Dale, Robert Phillips, everybody filing in. Thank you. Thank you for all being here. Mercury Wells, hello. But of course, we got to pay some bills. So before you get into that, guys, I just want to remind you that tonight's live stream is brought to you by our friends at Hellebarde Games. Hellebarde makes the kind of adventures they'd like to play, whether it's for Castles and Crusades, for the OSR, or for 5th edition. Old School is in play at the table with Hellebarde Games, and you can check them out on Drive-Thru RPG or on their website, hellebardegames.com. And of course, they're linked down below. And you know what else is linked down below, guys? You know what else is really cool that's linked down below? Let me show you here. Did you know we have merch? We have merch. That's right. You can get yourself an awesome piece of Delver's Dungeon merch with a beautiful logo done by the one and only Tracy Lesh. We have vinyl stickers. We have canvas prints. We have tea bags for the ladies. We have pint glasses, hoodies, and t-shirts for everyone. So that is also linked below, the Delver's Dungeon, creatorspring.com. I know it's a bit of a mouthful, so you just copy and paste, folks. And again, you can check us out. That really helps us keep the lights on around here. So I do appreciate that if you happen to pick something up. Because again, you're not just getting something that says, I watch the most popular 5-night-a-week live streaming 1st edition AD&D show on YouTube. You're getting a piece of artwork from one of the original creators, one of the OGs of the very tabletop hobby itself, Mr. Tracy Lesh. So get in on that. Get yourself something cool. The summer's coming up. I'm probably going to pick up a couple of t-shirts, but if it's still cool where you are, or you're on the other side of the world, like our co-host Kyle, and you're going to need something warm for that coming winter, why not a hoodie? And whatever time of year it is, of course, you need a libation. So pick up a pint glass. Anyway, Jason Weaver, just so, new t-shirt, 1 day less laundry. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. So check us out over there, if you would, please. Now, Kyle will be along here shortly. I've just gotten, let's see here. And of course, our players are all waiting in the wings, ready to join us up here in just a hot minute. So, yes, so Kyle is pinging me. He is on his way right now. He's in Elvis mode, you know. He's praying right now. He's praying. He's taking his 5 minutes. So Kyle's going to be joining us here as he acquires some precious coffee, and then we'll go with the show. You guys will have to pardon me. I've got to stay hydrated. I haven't had enough water today. Well, one thing I can tell you about that we've got coming up. Tomorrow night, we have a guest, of course. It's Thursday. We have a guest. Richard Witters, former art director at Wizards of the Coast, is going to be here, and I think that's pretty damn cool. Richard's going to be here, and you know what? We did a mic check. We did a sound check yesterday, Richard and I did, to make sure that everything was copacetic. You guys are gonna. He has got some funny stories, some fun stories. And I was like, oh my god, and yeah, you got to tell him that. So Richard's gonna be here, and we're gonna talk about He's got a project going on that he's gonna tell you guys about, a game project. It's gonna be super cool. So I'm really looking forward to Richard bringing the fun tomorrow. And then Friday night, of course, we will be playing first edition Gamble World. That's right, back into the wastelands for Gamble World on Friday night. So we've got a heck of a lineup for the rest of the week for you guys. And then I'm taking a well-deserved weekend off. No, I will not be doing 5 or 6 hours of live streaming on Saturday like I did this past Saturday. I have stuff to get caught up on. So that is what's going to happen. Kabuki, I have not. I will keep my ear to the ground and let folks know when I know. But in addition to those live streams, of course, we've always got interstitial videos for important tabletop RPG news as it happens for you guys. And folks, we are no kidding around. We have reached, where are we at here? I just want to say, I think this is absolutely wonderful. And I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Yeah, we're at 5,453 subscribers here on the channel. And that is excellent. Thank you all so very, very much. We had 50 people, 50 people watching first edition AD&D Let's Play last night. Bale Rider says my mic is a bit low. Well, let me increase that gain a little bit. It is a new mic. So I'm playing with a little bit. Let me bump that gain up a little bit for you guys. Of course, it could be your phone, Pale Rider. I don't mean that by way of insult. I'm just saying, a combination, my new mic and your phone. Maybe they're not playing nice, but definitely Mercury, prayers up for Ernie. We'll hope for the best. I did listen last night. And one thing I have changed is, I have the box. I have the box down here. I showed you guys the box that it's got a bunch of studio sliders on it and everything like that. And I can do funny voices. But so it's taking some tweaking. So we're working with it. Everybody's like, oh, why don't you just get earpods? They have a bit. No. No half measures here. All right. Well, I see now the door to the green room has been forced open, and striding in is the one and only, everybody put your hands together for Kyle Schuant, the Viking Hat GM, my partner in crime here on the channel, the Thunder from down under himself. Everybody, good evening, Kyle. How are you?
Hey, boys and girls. How you doing?
And Kyle's getting an RPG shot right through his head there.
Just in the background.
Just in the background. How are you?
There's always a background of senseless violence going on when you're in a role-playing game.
Of course.
Senseless and explosive in the modern day. Now, where's the... All right. Let's roll the credits, and then we'll bring people on.
All right.
And get them to introduce their characters. Where is
Well, Mikey, I predict this is gonna end in some big gunfight. A lot of bloodshed. You and me stuck in the middle, as always.
Well, what are we waiting for?
And a fine job with the credits as usual, Kyle. So let's bring in our merry band of armed miscreants. Our first player, of course, needs no introduction. Our next player, Stapleton, is run by Jason. And of course, the one and only, everybody's favorite, Kenneth playing Sumuwata. And then there's me.
Alrighty, and here are these character sheets. Oh, I forgot to remove the bit about their being injured. Anyway, they'd recovered, so that's what matters.
But have they really?
Well,
physically, anyway.
Yeah,
There's
physically.
some doubt about Sumuwata after last episode.
I have doubts about most of the players in the first session. So, anyway, okay, Sumuwata, tell us about yourself.
Well, Sumuwata is your explosive and your tech expert. She did take a head injury that she has physically recovered from. Mentally is questionable. We'll just have to see what happens. So there she is.
Alrighty. Next, we've got Bill Sylvie with Warren Brown.
Warren Brown, the pointy end of American diplomacy. I am the last argument of kings. I go to foreign places and I make the American dream come true just a little bit more every day in every dark corner of this benighted globe that I trod my timberlands on.
Stapleton, Jason.
Stapleton, resident Russian speaker, which has come in handy. Good with guns, good with some first aid and some observation, and connoisseur of dive bars around the world.
Oh, hang on, what am I doing? Moving around my screen in a funky way. Stu Bennett, he's an NPC. He's a commando and a thug, and he tends to rush in and start hitting people. Like, he's less fond of firearms. He's more fond of rushing in and punching the crap out of people, which is surprisingly effective. And last but not least, Bill T with McPherson.
Hey everybody, I'm Bill T and I play McPherson. I'm the squad's combat medic who is also poetic. I can patch you up if you're shot or if you're diabetic. Me and the squad were quite synergetic. Note to self, don't give Stu Bennett diuretics or you will regret it.
Oh my God, the campaign's turned the lad into a poet. Okay,
How
who wants
long
to give a
were you
recap?
working on that one?
Oh, about the past 15 minutes.
There you go. Well done.
I got to get you some beats so we can do a mixtape. We can do it.
Gotcha.
15 minutes is about the work that I did in preparing for this session too. So I like to just roll with it. That's how I go when I run a game. Just roll the dice and see what happens. Michael Murtig asked if Bill's character is the troublemaker. No, that's the whole party.
Yeah.
They share that duty equally, I think.
Yes, they do. They absolutely do. The lot of them.
Everyone's. Why did I lock that drawer? Everyone's got their own one.
Drifting a Humvee was a bad idea? Who said that?
All right, tell us what happened then, Mr. Humvee Flipper.
Frankenstein drift.
You want me to?
What happened in the last session?
Last session? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So last session, we went to go and pick up our newly recovered teammates Sumuwata and Brown. They were at the airport. We went to the airport. Some rockets started flying from some buildings across the way. Ended up striking the plane they were in. They weren't hurt. Everybody was evacuated out of the plane. And then we decided to hightail it back to our base of operations where we managed to gun down some guys that looked like they may have been laying some IEDs on a bridge. And we ran into a roadblock where there was a group of Marines fighting at this checkpoint. and being attacked by the squad of righteous fury. And I ended up deciding to try and pull a Tokyo Drift with a Humvee, which I rolled very, very low on and did not succeed at, causing some. Was there any ejections? I don't think so, but yeah, it was kind of
Warren Brown. He was
Brown-
on the gun.
Brown was on
He
the
fell
gun.
at the top, and he landed on his head. But
Right.
thankfully, there wasn't much injury.
You know what? I remember that I was on the gun originally, and then when he got in the Humvee, he pushed me out and took it over. I think he might be regretting that decision right now.
Right. So
Everyone
yeah,
else just kind of fell on top of each other when the vehicle went, whoop onto its side.
we ended up dishing out some fury of our own to the squad of righteous fury, and then we had to sadly dismantle a wonderful looking box style Chevy, square body Chevy. Yeah,
the square body we had to shoot up because Kyle is cruel and heartless.
It was a Chevy that was being used as a technical. So when it came rolling up as reinforcements for the squad of righteous fury guys, they popped a couple of 40mm grenades in its direction. One went right in the cabin, and made a mess of the people involved. It made a mess of the vehicle, but it was more messy for the people inside the cabin.
To be fair, if it had been a Toyota Hilux, we'd still be shooting at it. It would still be driving towards us.
a merry time was had by all, nonetheless, and I think we wrapped up just about there, somewhere in there. Anyways,
we wrapped up with the cleanup with Warren Brown going around shooting the enemy wounded, and other people treating the American wounded.
Yep.
They were reaching for their sidearms when I offered them a chance to surrender.
And then there were civilians emerging from the nearby hotel that you'd popped 40mm grenades into as well. So, yeah. All right. So you take the wounded Marines and yourselves to the hospital in the green zone. You yourselves get checked out. Warren Brown has had a bump on the head, but it's just a minor wound, so he'll be okay. The rest of you, none of you injured, just a little bit of hearing loss and tinnitus from all the explosions. Just for reference, unshielded gunfire is usually in 160 something decibel range. When you put on earmuffs, it reduces it to the 130s. By comparison, the 130s are the level of volume that you get standing next to a stock car racing track. So that's reduced sound. That's the little foam things that the guys stick in their ears when they're on the firing range. And then a regular old suppressor drops at 30 decibels as well. So, war is loud. War is noisy.
What did you say, Kyle? I was in a gun battle last week.
Pretty much it.
Is
Pretty much
someone
like
talking?
every former soldier has got tinnitus. It's just universal. Can you prove it's service related? No, everyone has it, because just going down forget about having been deployed anywhere. Just going down on the firing range, even with the little foam things in, it's just inevitable. That stuff is noisy. So yeah, apart from tinnitus and a bit of deafness in whichever your firing side is, you guys will be physically fine. Some of you might have a bit of blood and viscera on you from treating the wounded, or desecrating their corpses or something. But
What?
yeah, you're physically fine. Well, I assume that Bill didn't stop to check the heartbeat or whatever. He just put a couple of rounds in each one just to make sure. But anyway. All right.
That Bill, not me, Bill. I'm the medic.
Again, I'd like to point out that they were reaching for their sidearms. working knowledge of Pashto is not great, but I do believe that no, please is I'm gonna draw my gun and shoot you, American.
Alrighty. So you I have no idea what Simwada just said. Said something in private message, but I couldn't make sense of it. Anyway, it must be that she got hit in the head. Anyway, yeah. So you go back to the hospital, you get all and then you go back to your base. You get yourselves all cleaned up, and a day goes by. You get news from elsewhere. There were apparently multiple small attacks. So it wasn't just on that one entrance into the green zone. There were others, but they managed to hold them off, except in a couple of places where some of the guys got through, but they got fought off by the Frankistan National Defence Force guys. So it was just a bloodier battle. Battles here and there.
And they hit the airfield as a distraction to keep a lot of the Marines there while they hit other targets, basically.
Yeah. That's what it looks like. It looks like they take down a Globemaster and a company of Marines to just shock the Americans. Because remember that, so the company of Marines was coming in on the aircraft to replace the company of Marines already there on the ground defending the airfield. So, because those guys have been there 5 months, they're due for a relief. So the idea was to take them out, hopefully, and keep the others busy dealing with the burning aircraft and everything. And they remember that when you came from the airfield towards the green zone, there was also a couple of squad of Righteous Fury guys who were obviously lining up to blow up the bridge that went across the river towards the green zone. So they were obviously there. Okay, keep the Americans busy at the airfield, and just in case they want to send a quick reaction force into the green zone, well, let's blow the bridge so they can't get across, or it will at least delay them. But you guys just barreled through so fast. You came straight out of the airfield and you barreled through so fast that you got there before they'd blown the bridge and you shot them up. So the quick reaction force was able to arrive. They arrived too late to make a difference at the checkpoint where you guys were fighting, but they were able to reinforce and stop things getting nastier with successive waves. So yeah, but there were other attacks around and in the green zone. So it's a bit of a messy day, and there's a bit to clean up. So you're sitting in the barracks and you're playing pool and listening to some music, and somebody points out, "Oh, there's the news on," and the news comes up.
February, Reuters. A social media video verified by Reuters and geolocated to an area west of Das Kapital appears to show American forces shooting and killing at least one captured and badly wounded squad of Righteous Fury soldier. 3 rounds were fired by an off-camera individual into the soldier, who is wearing one of the red armbands used by SRF forces. He is bleeding heavily, lying in a road beside a dead soldier, and appears to be breathing with difficulty. "Look, he's still alive. He's wheezing already." "It's finished," says a voice before 2 rounds are fired. A third is fired after the soldier continues moving. The video then pans to 2 other dead soldiers in the road who also have red armbands. One of them has his hands behind his back and has been shot in the head. An American-made Humvee armored vehicle is lying on its side abandoned nearby. Reuters could not establish the exact date of the video, which was first reported by the New York Times. Russia's TASS news agency published footage of the shooting's aftermath on February 23rd. The apparent American forces were not in correct US military uniform in the video but were English-speaking. At least one had an American accent and others had accents typical of places in the southern United States or parts of the East. Some of them shouted, "Get some!" Their affiliation was not clear. One of them had a US flag patch on his arm, but it was upside down. Reuters geolocated the video to central Das Kapital, where SRF forces had mounted a raid this week, not far from the airport where Washington has accused Russia of supplying the surface-to-air missiles used by SRF forces in an attack. Russia has denied involvement in the conflict. The US Secretary of State said he had not seen the video, but had heard about it. I want to reassure you that the US military observes the rules of warfare. Of course, there might be isolated incidents of the violation of these rules, and they will be definitely investigated, he said.
McPherson is just going to look at his shoulder and like flip the patch right side up.
It was actually Bennett.
Oh,
Had it upside down.
Yeah, that makes sense. He's like, I don't remember saying get some. Did you say get some?
I didn't say get some.
That's it. Everybody just looks at Bennett.
Alrighty. And then
Look at Bennett and say,
a couple-
"You're a celeb, dude. You're a celeb. Now you got to send us some water, buddy."
a couple minutes later, over the loudspeaker comes. It says Kilo Team 1 to the main office, please.
oh boy.
We got to talk to the principal.
I guess that's our designation, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you glad you're back, Sumi?
Yay!
So who wants some medically unfit for duty slips before I throw them out along with my career?
Ooh.
Now, don't worry. There's plenty of prisons in the United States correction system. They'll be more than happy to have you as a doctor.
Oh, I can't go back to sitting on a donut. Not after the first time I was there.
Alrighty. So I assume you go to see Lang.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like Gumby's response. Good initiative, bad choices.
Unfortunately.
And Lang's just sitting behind his desk as you come in with his arms folded. And he looks around at you. He doesn't invite you to sit down. And he says, "Well, explain yourselves."
Well, we were under heavy assault from forces across from the airfield when we arrived on scene, and we decided the best course of action was to reinforce the central headquarters. So we made all haste there, and we assisted a squad of Marines at the checkpoint, albeit with maybe some material damage. And unfortunately, the civilian population was unable to evacuate in time, but we did our best. I think we did a pretty good job overall. Don't you think?
Well, the Marines seem happy, but we're in the news. We're meant to be a private military corporation. Emphasis on the private.
Sir, UN personnel were under fire as well, and we helped them out. Have they said anything to the news?
No, they haven't said anything at all, but that's the UN for you.
Great.
They duck down, they don't fire back. They don't do anything useful.
Yeah, the blue helmets are busy digging foxholes with their belly buttons.
Yeah. All right. Why were you shooting the wounded?
I thought they were
shooting the wounded, and why?
I'm sorry, what was the last thing you said, Kyle?
Were you shooting the wounded, and if so, why? Tell me you were not. Tell me you were not shooting the wounded.
There were a lot of SRF guys making plays for their weapons. They
No. You don't understand me, says Lang. Tell me you were not shooting the wounded.
We were not shooting the wounded, sir.
We were not shooting the wounded.
We were absolutely not shooting the wounded, sir.
So this must be fake news AI generated. Am I correct?
Oh, yes, it was, sir.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's blowing up all over TikTok as he's like holding up his phone.
I slapped McPherson's phone out of his hand.
He goes for it and then thinks better, right back to attention.
I just look at him like, TikTok? How old are you?
Some of us keep a bit more up to date on the intel, sir, than others.
Anyway, yeah, we weren't shooting at the wounded. This is all fake news. Hashtag fake news.
All right, he says. We may have to lay low, and there may be an investigation team. Probably not. But may have to lay low. Fortunately, the police force here is run by Colonel Shah, who himself would probably do a lot worse to wounded Squad of Righteous Fury guys. So the local police won't investigate. We don't have quite the same immunity to prosecution that the Marines do. So, you're fortunate in that regard. But if you meet any members of the press, don't talk to them, for God's sake. Try to stay away from civilians with phones with cameras on them, okay?
Of course.
So stay away from.
And when you think about the video that you saw, it was obviously somebody in the hotel immediately after because remember there was that corner hotel that you were firing your 40 mil grenades into, and you were hoping that the civilians had cleared out the ground floor. So it was obviously once the firing died down, obviously the civilians popped out to have a look and then started filming with their mobile phones down into the intersection where you guys were. So it must have been one of them.
Great. Now I got to wear a face covering. Perfect.
So, yeah.
Quick question for those who are curious. There in the chat up on the screen. If you want to try out Conflict, get the print version.
Yeah. Now, and just a note for viewers, what's happening here is nothing to do with the conflict rules themselves. There's some kind of, like I was reading some post-apocalyptic games recently, and they kind of vary a lot. Some are quite crunchy, like the old Aftermath and stuff, and some are quite thespy, like The End of the World and The Walking Dead and stuff like that. And I don't really believe in baking that into the rules. Like, you know, does your character feel bad about shooting at people or being shot at or whatever? You know, I don't really believe in baking the emotions and that into the rules. Or I just think your character can do what you want. It's your character, but there may be in-game consequences to what you do. And sometimes you do things bad and people approve of it. Sometimes you do things good and people disapprove of it. It's just like the real world in that regard. So yeah, but that's not baked into the rules. The rules are just pure rules about how to resolve the physical situations. The emotional, psychological side is up to you. Do whatever you want. You're the player. It's up to you. I'm libertarian in that regard. You're the player. You do whatever you want. Just, you know, there's consequences. So yeah. So don't anyone think that it's a Thespy game. Alrighty, so you guys, I presume, go back to the pool room and.
But of course,
Yeah. Well, that was you could tear through the tension in that room. Oof.
Okay, so yeah, stay away from everyone, basically, because
Go to
everyone
general
has
stores and I get the face covering. And now I can go out.
I don't think the locals in Das Kapital have got like facial recognition technology on their phones or something.
It's just my eyes. They didn't get that close of a video, really. But no, I'll stay on base with the rest of the team.
So it seems like the squad of righteous fury are, I guess, getting a bit more brazen. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And apparently they have a propaganda arm now.
Apparently they do. Okay, so about this time you head down for dinner, and the dinner hall is empty of staff. There's nobody there.
Is there anything in the trays? Is it just...
No, there's no
empty
food in the
trays?
trays. There's just all the stuff that was left over from lunch.
What the
And
heck?
I guess I could go for egg salad.
there's still
again.
a Das Kapital cop who's on the door as usual.
Okay.
All layers are asked if there's a basis here era for conflict. Anything up to right now. It's any what we would call modern warfare. So I would call it anything from like World War II onwards up to post-apocalyptic. You could put laser blasters in there. It wouldn't change things fundamentally. Okay. Sorry, go on. Yep. So there's a cop on the door in there.
Yeah, I'd ask him where the hell everybody is.
He said after lunch they all looked rather unhappy and they took off and went home.
They went home.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a sinking feeling that all of the locals going home is kind of a bad thing?
Yeah. Let's go.
That maybe this
Stock up.
place might be the next target.
Yeah.
Let's go gear up.
Yeah. I'm gonna, as we are leaving this place, and not bunching up and maintaining good separation, Kyle, I am going to get on the horn and I am going to talk to our contractee and explain the situation in the chow hall to him and what was said by the door guard.
He said, "Oh, I wonder where the cleaner had gone."
Yeah, I think stuff's about to get real, sir.
As we're on our way out, I look at the cop. Why are you still here?
He said, "Well, because I was ordered to. I'm ordered to be here."
There's nothing to guard. Go home. You're guarding day-old macaroni and cheese. Just go home.
He said, "I don't take orders from you."
Nope.
He said, "Colonel Shah, through the chain of command, has ordered me to be here, so
You might
by
want to touch
Allah, I
base
will
with
be
him.
here."
Okay.
McPherson's got the whole tray, in his hands, and he's just got a metal spoon going at it. Hey, mac and cheese is still mac and cheese, man.
And so's ground glass anyway. I'm armory. Let's go.
For yourself. Never go to combat on an empty stomach.
All right.
Armory,
So,
explosives, all that fun stuff.
yep. Alrighty. So you head down to the armory, yep. And what are you signing out? The
What aren't
Coastal
we?
sergeant says,
Yes.
"Where are you going? What are you doing?" I haven't heard
M4
anything about
4
an operation.
mags. M4 4 mags, 2 frag, 1 smoke, 1 Willie Pete. Covers for everybody, front and back, plates.
Hello,
We're,
my
uh,
tech
yeah, he says,
visual,
"I haven't-"
explosives.
The Q-Store guy says, "I haven't heard of an op. What's going on?"
It is cloudy outside and it's definitely looking like rain. I don't know if you've been paying attention to current events, but literally every local has deleted themselves from the base. Shit's about to get real.
The mess is empty. The cleaning staff is gone, man. All the locals have bugged out. Something's going to happen.
They left food scraps. These people don't leave food scraps.
You want some mac and cheese, man? You can have the rest of this chafing dish. He puts it on the counter and he's like, I mean, we just want to go and take our gear out and, do some fitting tests and other things like that. Nothing's going to happen with us anyways. We're going to be right here. You just here, have some mac and cheese. I brought an extra spoon. Here.
You don't have to lie to him. We already told him what's going on.
Alrighty.
You're ruining the schmooze, guys. Come on.
While you're eating your mac and cheese and ordering gear, it becomes harder to sort through your gear because the lights go out. They flicker for a moment and then go out.
And here we go.
Just McPherson's going to turn on his mag light and just kind of help everybody out. Here, man. Yeah, over here.
And you hear the Q-Stores guy's voice say, just hang on a minute. Someone will go downstairs and turn the generator on.
No, they won't.
Nobody's here, man. We're telling you.
No, one of the you think that one of the PMC staff or one of the cops will go down and turn the generator on. Because the cops are still all around here. The PMC guys are all still around here.
Now might be a really good time, Mr. Quartermaster, to go to that internet cafe you like to frequent and call up your significant other in the States. I think now would be a great time for a Skype call. Just saying.
He says, if something's going down, I'm not going outside there. I'm staying in here.
Oh, don't worry. I'm pretty sure they'll be coming to you.
Yeah, I'm turning on my mag light too. Come on.
Yeah.
With the gear. The 240 over here.
Everything's on.
Alrighty. So you gear yourselves up.
Mm-hmm. And I want to be clear, Kyle. When I said the 240, I mean the FN 240. I
guess that.
Okay. It was not idle dialogue.
Alrighty. Okay, so remember the layout of this building. Okay, so you've got this larger compound, car parks in front, and gardens and stuff out the back. It's not huge, but yeah.
Gardens?
And then there's a sort of broadly speaking, there's
at one time.
Okay,
it's not like an English manor house gardens, but it's like you get in Central Asia, where there's little short stone walls here and there, and there are low trees, and there's little pools of water and everything, and places for birds and everything. So it's relatively cool there. So on the 40-degree days, you can go there. This is not a 40 centigrade day. This is more like a 40 Fahrenheit day, because this is late February at 2,200 meters above sea level in Central Asia. So, the temperature is actually just above freezing at the moment. It's quite chilly. It's not snowing or anything, but it's just about freezing.
PMCs have it pretty good with the koi pond in the back. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so there's that little garden there. So there's this building. It's like a typical government building, like an old school building or something. And as you approach from the car park, from the street in the car park, on the left-hand side, there's the Das Kapital Police, with the top level being the Das Kapital Police Prevention Bureau, as they call themselves, which is basically the SWAT team and Colonel Shah and that. And the SWAT team, they're the pretty hardcore guys. You only get onto the SWAT team if one of your family members has been killed by the Squad of Righteous Fury, because they want to know that they can trust them. So they're the pretty hardcore guys. On the right-hand side is the civilian contractors, which is a number of the locals that have been civilian contractors, but also obviously like the catering company or whatever. It's not locally run. There's some foreign group that runs it, but they just employ the locals. And then on the the middle floor. So there's 3 levels. There's a ground floor, apart from the basement. There's a ground floor where the civilian contractors are. There's the middle floor where the military contractors are. That's you guys. And then there's the top floor, which is where all the communications and everything are. And they command. They've got this one drone that flies around the country and lands at the airport and stuff. And they command there, and they also are in communication with the Marines and with the UN command, and that on that top floor. And then there's the basement. There's only a basement underneath the police side, and that's where they keep the prisoners. You've been there. It's really not very nice. They will commonly have like 15 people in a cell built for 2. It's a pretty dismal place. And so that's where they keep the prisoners, and it's also where there's the hospital infirmary. The prison infirmary. And there's also, there's an infirmary for you guys, but that's kind of in the middle. Okay, so that's the layout. And sorry, there is a basement on the right-hand side, but that's where your armory is. That's all there is. The generator would be on the prisoner side, the police prisoner side, if there's a spare generator. Okay, so where are you guys heading to once you're geared up?
The most defensible position you can be in, something that overlooks or is bunker-like.
Is there more stories to this building? Is it like a 2-3 story office building kind of thing, or
it's three levels?
3 levels.
So
okay.
Not counting the basement, there's 3 levels. There's the ground, the floor above that, and then the floor above that.
Yeah, I would like to make a quick bounce over to Shah's office and let him know what our suspicions are, so they can prepare if anything's going to happen.
Yep. You arrive at Shah, and he says, "Yep, it's either that or they're trying non-violent resistance and just going on strike." Now, as for what's bunker-like, all of this place has pretty thick walls. It has regular glass panes, but the glass panes, they've got, where you get that wire, sort of, it's almost hexagonal shape, but it's like a hex. And there's a line, there's that wire to reinforce the glass. And then there's
right?
Yeah, and then there's iron bars outside. They're not really hardcore iron bars. Like if you were there, you'd be able to prise unbolt it or prise it off or whatever. And certainly like a vehicle would be able to pull it off with a chain. They're not really hardcore ones. They're just designed to stop any thrown objects, so that if someone chucks a Molotov cocktail and the window is open to let air in, it'll just smash against the glass or whatever instead. Smash against the iron bars instead. Yeah, and there is not a top floor, but there is a roof, and that's a flat area, and that's where it has the air conditioning and all the mini antennas for the communications. And there's an empty space which could be used to land a smallish helicopter, or the back end of a large one.
I think maybe McPherson is going to do a little recon and go to the second floor and see what he can
The
see.
second floor is your floor, so you get the.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Confusion of terms here. I know you Americans call the second floor the second level.
Right.
We tend to call it the ground and then the first floor, and then but anyway, so we just call it level 1, 2, 3, and basement underneath all that, and then roof.
Okay. So then level 3.
And
go to that.
So level 3 is where all the comms are, and on your side, and on the Dust Capital Prevention Bureau, Colonel Shah on his side. So when you go to Colonel Shah's level, they're just running around. It's a hive of activity. While you're there, the lights come back on, and the computers and everything in his offices turn back on. So people are running around and shouting into telephones and
is there any
gearing themselves up.
You know, when you're in a room, you know, or if you walk into the door in a room and you start hearing the conversations after about a second or two, you can kind of pick up the theme. Is there any kind of theme going on here? I mean, there's a lot of activity, but is there a
Well, they're
word
not speaking a language
common?
that you speak.
Oh, it's all in Chimeri, huh?
Yeah.
All
I'm
right,
gonna
I
plug
guess
into the comms and monitor and try to determine what's going on.
Oh, well, you could just go up to the you can go up to the headquarters in your area and listen directly. Talk to them and listen directly. So you go over to level 3. So McPherson and Sumuata will be up there in the headquarters area with all the computers and everything. They had a little power interruption battery so it kept them going for the 15 or 20 minutes before the generator started going again. And yeah, and they're all listening in. Lang, of course, is there, and you ask them what's going on. They tell you that the SRF comms, they're normally pretty quiet anyway, because remember they tend to avoid air-to-air comms. So they just go for landlines and things. They just used a little bit of air-to-air comms during their attack yesterday. So they had old radios and everything. They put the antennas up, but when it was in the midst of the attack, they did that. So you've got some data for that. You know what frequencies to listen in for and stuff now. So yeah, and they say, okay, it's gone a bit. There was some activity before, but it's gone quiet now.
Do we have surveillance active in this area?
Okay, roll the dice. 2d6.
Okay.
let's go, Sumuata.
Oh, wrong dice. I don't even know what kind of dice those are.
Those
Purple blank. I think that's successful.
those are fate dice. Wrong game.
She got a 9.
There we go.
She got a 9. Okay. Yeah, there's a drone that's in the area. It's not directly over Dusk Capital at the moment, but they're going to fly it back over. So, yeah, normally, because officially it's in the control of the Marines. So normally there's a lot of back and forth and arguing about it, but at the moment they're not arguing. After yesterday's attack last week's attack on the airfield, they're not arguing. So,
Sumuata, you all right here for a minute? I'm actually gonna try and get up onto the roof and just look around us. Does that sound good?
If you want to
Get
do
your
it,
ass back
just
down
make
here in
sure-
5 minutes. I mean it. Time it on your watch. I want you back down here in 5 minutes.
All right, he clicks a little thing on his
Oh,
Casio.
little time now.
All right. I'm gonna go for the roof access.
okay. Who's got observation tactical?
I do. I think we all do.
Okay. You don't need to roll for that. You can just you would just know from observation tactical.
I do as well.
In terms of if somebody were to launch a ground attack on this building, the two places that they could go through, the easiest physical access is through the front amongst all the cars, because that's where there's these big double doors and you go in and there's a wide lobby and then there's stairs up and all the rest. So that's the easiest physical access to go right up the guts and into the building. The easiest concealed access or covered access is to come from the rear where the garden is. Because there's a large wall behind that and there's a number of buildings behind that. So they'd be able to infiltrate quite close without being immediately seen. And so you know, even if you were on the top of the building, you probably wouldn't be able to see down into amongst all the other buildings, except people just flitting between them and so on. And then through the garden, because there's quite a bit of vegetation in the garden. It's not covered from fire. The bush doesn't help you much. There's a bulletproof bush, but it is covered from view. So yeah, there's the two obvious ones. And then the sides, they wouldn't be able to come from the sides because they're just regular buildings, and the regular buildings all around are at a lower level. So if they were to try to come from the side, they would be very visible from anyone, even on the on level 2 of the building. It's above the surrounding area, buildings.
Is Stapleton gonna? Are you coming with? Is that kind of what this was boiling down to?
I don't know. You guys want the front or the back?
I guess I was gonna go look at I guess towards the gardens. You want to check the front?
Okay.
Because because you guys have got access to claymores and plastic explosive and that sort of thing. If you want to make your own IEDs and
Front toward enemy. I always thought that would be a great T-shirt, just like the picture of a claymore. Front toward enemy.
I'm sure somebody's done it.
Front towards everything.
Do we see anything immediate in the back?
Okay. Well, not from the level 1. No, you go to level 2.
I mean the rooftop. I went for the roof. I want to look. I just want to look, scan the area real quick.
He wants you there and back in 5 minutes, so you have to run up to the roof, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, you see 1 or 2 figures flitting around between buildings, but you can't get a good eyeball on them to even see if they're armed or if they're just local civilians panicking and getting out of the way.
Anything from the front?
Okay, so you go around to the other side of the building. So you have to travel about 30 feet, go into the other side of the building and have a look. And what's your observation tactic? Observation is just 1 familiarity, isn't it?
It says familiarity obstac on it.
Yeah, obstac. Yeah, that's exactly what you need. Okay. And remember, you're just using your assault rifle just with a basic reflex scope on it, 1.5, 2 times magnification.
Yeah.
So you're not using binoculars or a mini drone or anything like that.
As fake news as that news report was, they did leave the tip that the squad was wearing red handkerchiefs as identifiers. So I'm going to keep.
Oh yeah, you knew that already. So yeah. Alrighty. Out on the road at the front, you don't see any vehicles on the road. This is unusual for this time of day. It's dinner time. People should be coming home from work. And the roads are empty.
Well, I got my answer. I think it's about, I have about 2 minutes left to make it down all those flights of stairs to get back to the comm center.
You can land on the ground outside in like 0.3 of a second, man. Come on.
I'm made for fixing other people, not myself. Thank you very much.
You got some cheese right there.
Stop it, you. You know I'm golden. I thought I had literally had something like.
That was in character. I'm sorry.
Alrighty.
Lord Jesus.
Wow, he is immersed in the fiction. Wow.
But I'm having a good time. That's what it's all about, right?
Oh yeah.
Chad, are you guys having a good time?
You run back down to Brown. Where are you, Brown, anyway? You're still in the headquarters room?
Yes.
Okay. So you run back down to him there.
Okay.
You'll have a little comms thing so you can talk to each other. Where do you want him to be? He's still on the, he geared up just like the rest of you. And he's, last you saw him, he was in your barracks room.
Oh, I get a little nervous whenever he's out of eye shot.
We all get a little nervous when he's
Hey, Stu, do you think you could meet us up in the comm center, please? I'd appreciate it.
He says, "Rightio."
Okay. All right.
A couple of minutes later, he shows up.
Well, I'll relay to the team and I'll say, hey, I mean, there's a lot of activity near the rear of the building. I couldn't discern anybody, but there's a lot of people walking fast. And then in the front of the building, there is nothing. Nobody's coming home. Nobody's driving on the road. It's ghost town out there.
All right, second story, corner on the rear. Let's go.
The sun sets outside in Das Kapital.
We are
A frosty night.
What I want us to do is go up to the second story, take a corner rear office room, whatever. I don't care what's in there. I don't care if it's the gym, the ladies' room, whatever, as long as there's windows that give us a clear field of fire.
Let's pop those windows a little bit. Let's get them open. That way we're ready to fire or throw things or whatever's needed.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure you step a couple of paces back from the window, because you don't want your scopes glowing.
So to be clear, you're on your own residential kind of level.
Yeah.
All right. So there's the ground level, the civilian contractors, so level 1 civilian contractors, level 2 military contractors, level 3 headquarters. You're on level 2 then.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Nobody's up on the roof. Nobody's down in the basement.
Correct.
Okay.
Are you guys sure?
And are you in the front? Are you looking at the front or the back?
The back, where activity was, right?
Okay.
Are you guys sure we did we run this by our colonel?
I think he knows.
Yeah, I think when we come
Yeah,
under fire,
he'll hear your comms and
Okay.
He's leaving you to do what you think
Should-
asks you to do a job. He's not a micromanager.
This is what he hired us for.
when we come under fire, I think our discretion is going to be open.
All right.
I'm going to have the comms open, listening and monitoring as well.
Okay, so you flick around the channels and you can't understand what the police are saying to each other, but you hear a lot of movement in the building. So it sounds like they're basically spreading themselves all out across the levels on their side of the building to defend front and back.
Do we should we maybe see if we've got any sentries at the doors downstairs?
I think we should warn
I'll
him.
go have a look, says Bennett.
All right.
Think we should warn him about the claymores we put out front?
Did you put claymores out front? I had.
Yeah, I did. I totally did.
Oh,
Got
did
your
you tell anybody that they're actually there?
That's what I think. We think we should tell Shaw about the claymores.
Yeah,
I told-
probably.
I told
The,
you
I'm
guys.
gonna come out of the lunchroom and get blasted.
Well, okay. Claymores can be command detonated, right? You do not need to make a demolitions check to set them up in the way intended, where you just put them into the soil, you put the little wire into the thing, and the wire's got the clacker. It's called the detonator. And somebody just sits there like 30 feet away from it or around a corner or something and sets it off when they want to.
Yeah.
If you wish it to be trip detonated, then you have to use your demolitions
Okay.
familiarity if
I
you
would've-
have one.
I would have
If
set
you
it up.
do not, then you have to ask Sumawata to do it. I mean, you could give it a go. Anyone can give it a go, but it would probably be prudent to get Sumawata to do it.
Yeah, I would. I probably would set it up with to be like triggered, detonated, not with instead of a tripwire, and let one of our allies know, like, hey, in case anything funky.
Well, somebody's got to sit there with the thing
Oh,
to set it off.
and there's nobody else. There's just us. Okay.
Well, there's the police as well. You could ask one of them to do it.
Yeah, I'll let the hardcore SWAT team guys know about them because
They're up on the roof. The
okay.
SWAT team guys are up on the roof.
All right.
You can
any
get
of-
just one of the regular cops to sit there.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, They come this way. This way. Boom. Okay.
Make a roll. Add your education to see if you're able to cross the language barrier,
Full of party.
language and cultural barrier.
Oh God. Education 1. Do any of them speak Russian?
Yeah.
Not these regular police guys, no. They're all young
Yeah,
guys.
that's
They're
all.
born after them.
That's a whole whopping 6.
Okay, and wow. Somehow he understands you. You think he does anyway. He goes, "Oh, yeah."
Click, click, click.
Yeah.
He makes a rude gesture towards outside.
Big old thumbs up.
I just head back upstairs. We're all gonna die.
How many claymores have you set up there?
I
And
would think
are they
just-
in series or in parallel? So like you clack once and then 5 go off, or you clack this one for this one to go off, and clack this one for that one to go off. You sit there with all these switches.
no, it's just gonna be one big. It's all wired to one. I'm like,
Okay.
get them all done at once, and so
Okay.
like, just
So you'll
in-
need a demolitions check with that to hang on.
Yeah, like-
How do I wire them up together?
yeah, like in
You have to splice
parallel,
wire and all.
like in parallel in the line in front of the building.
Yeah. Because you're wiring them up to all go at once. You need
Oh.
a demolitions check.
Yeah, I don't have demolition. That's great. Okay.
Okay, so just roll and add 0. Drop
Come
towards
on,
everything.
Jason.
God damn it, 6 again.
Well, they're pointing in the right direction, and you think
Yeah.
they'll go off. So you think they'll go off. You hope so.
Oh boy. Yeah. This is gonna be interesting.
All right.
I have.
And Bennett says to you, "I'll stay down here. I'll make sure he does it properly."
Thank you.
Were there any sentries posted downstairs, Stu?
No, there's nobody else here. There's just me and Ahmed here, or whatever his name is.
Fair enough.
I think it's actually 800 ball bearings, steel ball bearings, Bill. It's
Okay.
meant to be equivalent to like 12 gauge shotguns going off or something like that.
Not,
It's locked,
not,
anyway.
not up to my on my.
It ruined somebody's day anyway. There's actually some videos. There's a channel, the High Speed Ballistics channel, and they do it. They get, those forensic dummies they have.
the ballistic gel dummies. Yeah.
Yeah, and they like fire RPGs into them and fire 50 cals and stuff into them, and they've done the same thing with claymores and that, and it messes them up. It messes
Say,
them up.
Brown, should one of us go to the basement, or at least downstairs to the doors? I guess I can try and hold that. I don't know how much use I'm going to be up here at range.
I just smack you in the side of the head. Didn't you play Dungeons and Dragons when you were a kid? Don't split the party.
Oh, yeah, right. Sorry.
Never.
All right.
Don't worry. The ring is safe with me.
Michael Dale asks how well armored the munition storage area is. It's very well armored. I mean, it's this concrete bunker underground and there's only one way in or out. Apart from, there's like ventilation ducts, but they're narrow. You don't crawl through them. So yeah, there's just one way in or out. But if anyone chucked a tear gas grenade in there or something, then you'd be in trouble.
All the comments in chat about getting to the chopper makes me wonder, has anybody heard from the airfield?
That might be
Well,
a
you
good
have to go
question
to
for
the
Sumerwada.
headquarters. You have to go to the headquarters to ask about that.
Okay, I'm not going to worry about it.
Similar, you can't carry around gear sufficient to listen into to like comms from miles away. On that, can't carry that around. You have to go to the headquarters and ask them, or just radio Lang and go, "What's going on?"
Yeah,
Might be a good idea.
All right, Kyle, I'm peeking out the window with NVGs. Yep. Do I see anything moving out there?
All right, who's on the front? Who's on the back?
I think we left Stu. Yeah, I think we left Stu with the claymores in the front.
Yeah, he's down on the ground.
I think we all went up, like, spread out in the second floor.
Yeah.
Way Brown wanted.
Same room, whatever it is, but we're spaced out, and I'm looking out.
Protect your bedroom to the death.
Where all my stuff's at.
Alrighty. Okay. Night falls and snow starts falling as well.
Oh boy.
On the plus side, like red armbands stand out really well against white snow.
This is true.
Yeah.
And
against snow, again on the NVGs, these guys are going to show up like nobody's business.
God. Sumerwada, have you heard anything? Any traffic from the squad of Righteous Fury?
Have I, Kyle?
No, you haven't. Like, if you ask Lang what's going on, he said, yeah, they've got there's a bit of buzz going on, but they seem to be using all code words and that. So they're obviously doing some sort of movement and passing instructions around, but they're just using code words, so we don't know what they're saying. Has anyone checked for secret doors in the basement? How much tunnel system? No, there's a sewerage system, but again, it's just small pipe. Nobody's crawling down into it.
I'm sorry. We left the 10-foot pole with the quartermaster.
No, if there were tunnels around, then they would have infiltrated the green zone ages ago. So, alrighty. So then after night falls, you start hearing a rumble of vehicles out the front. They don't have any lights. Some of them just have little lights inside the vehicles with, like, the cabin light, and there's the occasional cigarette light in it. And the vehicles roll up. You can't tell from where you are whether they're civilian vehicles or military or Squad of Righteous Fury vehicles, because it's dark. The lights are out in the street outside. And when you look through your night vision goggles, you just get enhanced vision. So you see, and they're not all technical type vehicles either. There's a lot of civilian type vehicles. Regular cars roll up. And a whole stack roll up. Like, it's essentially a traffic jam inside. It's essentially a traffic jam inside.
We're not expecting any foreign dignitaries today, are we?
We are not.
It would be a bad time for them to visit now.
In a Yugo?
Not at 917 in
a Lada.
Yeah, and not at 917 in a Lada or a Trabant or Toyota Hiluxes.
Already. So they come up and they send. So there's a fair bit of noise as all those vehicles come up, and then people get out, and they're not carrying long arms or whatever. They get out and they walk away from the vehicles, out into the surrounding streets. As far as you can see, they're not wearing armbands or anything.
I think McPherson is going to go into his backpack and just on the desk he's got his gun propped up next to. He's going to start taking out like CBRN masks for the squad.
Okay. No, that's
Just
fine.
putting them
That's
on the desk. Just gonna prep that.
absolutely fine.
All right, so all those vehicles have been plonked in front of the compound. So none of your vehicles will be able to get out now, and no other vehicles will be able to get in. You've been traffic jam blocked in, basically, because the civilians have all abandoned their vehicles in front, and the civilians all piss off into the neighbouring area. A few minutes after that, you hear some distant gunshots, and you hear over the radio that there are some insurgent attacks happening on some of the entrances into the green zone.
Has
Are they
anybody?
shooting what direction?
Yeah, well, like I said, it's from the various entrances into the green zone. They seem to be attacking all sides simultaneously. They want to get in.
So we've got a planned all sides converging here.
Mhm.
Well, you don't know if they're converging on you, but because remember, inside the green zone is also the presidential palace,
Right.
The mustache
The mustache.
and other important things. Yeah, and Parliament in
Yeah.
the managed democracy, 1/3 appointed by the mustache.
I'm thinking since they blocked off getting out from the front of it, they're probably going to come in from the back and basically try to close us in.
McPherson's going to try and raise Colonel Shar.
Yep.
Hey, Colonel Shar, sir. We have a couple of parking violations outside. Do you think you could send a couple officers to issue some tickets, please?
Whole squad of meter maids just comes outside the building.
I don't think that'll work. Talk to me when it's important, and he clicks out on you.
Isn't that important, though? Fair enough.
Well, if you think it's important, you go out there.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Okay, so the fighting at the checkpoints goes on for a little while, and
You love it.
oh man, the comment from Robert Phillips.
out of nowhere, the DoorDash delivery shows up with your falafel orders.
Have you heard of shawarma? I've never tried it before, but let's.
He better not have.
Readers feeling paranoid. Hits. We are leaving. Okay. Alrighty. So you hear the gunfire and explosions continue, and after about 20 minutes, you hear that checkpoint number 4 has fallen, and checkpoint number 4 is actually the one you were at the other day.
Oof.
Checkpoint number 4 has fallen. The UN mission has got out of there. They just got the hell out of there.
Shocking.
Right.
Shocking.
This is my shocked face.
Do you guys think they're after the mustache? Like, are we in the wrong place?
We're gonna find out.
I guess. What happens if the mustache falls? I mean, should we be there?
You probably won't get paid.
Presidential security detail is not on my list of job requirements.
I'm sorry,
No,
I'm not really one to read the contract.
Yeah, it
You were
was not in the
counterinsurgents.
contract.
Fair enough.
And if they seize control of the government, they cease to be insurgents and they actually become the legitimate government of this country. So we just ask them to sign our timesheets and go on about normal business, I guess.
He is fighting different insurgents.
Who do I talk to about? Is it you now? Okay, it's you. All right, yeah. Could you? I did. I promise I did this. Yeah, I marked off the breaks and lunches I took. Could you sign that?
Yeah.
I gotta fax this. I know, right? Fax. I gotta fax this back home. State Department. You know.
Alrighty. So you all right. So you're sitting there rather tensely. Your heart's still pounding. The adrenaline's still racing. You're starting to get fatigued because it's been half an hour with your heart's pounding, with actually nothing happening immediately around you, just distant gunfire. Every time you see a little shadow moving around, you think, "What is that?" And then you look through your MVGs, and it's just a civilian who's dashing between buildings or something. You hear the rumble of vehicles again, and again it's out the front, and 2 technicals here and 2 technicals here pull up either side of the front of the building, and they just start laying into you. They open up and they start laying into you and raking the building with fire. Seems to be 30 cals, like pop, 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 pop.
Okay.
They're
Well,
laying into you.
Hey,
fair.
And a couple of guys jump out of each vehicle, and then there's and RPG goes and boom, slams into the police side of the building, and another RPG comes and goes boom, slams into the first level of the building.
Stu, I think it's time to say hi.
And you
They've
see
come
lots of
knocking.
figures moving around between the vehicles. There's at least 10 on each side moving through all the technicals and all the parked vehicles. So the technicals are giving covering fire, and they're using the parked vehicles as physical cover, and they're obviously aiming to move into the compound proper.
Well, I think it's high time that I introduce them to some American 30 cal. Technical on my right is going to get some vitamin L.
Okay. What's your readiness? Your readiness is 2, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so you have 1 action. So your readiness is now 1 rather than 2 because you're suppressed by automatic fire.
Right.
Okay, so there's the technical on your right, and there is also some guys running up to the front gate. The front gate is locked in that, so they will have to cut the padlock or blow it or something like that, or climb over. You think they probably wouldn't want to climb over the fence because they come under too much fire, but you want to blow open the gate.
All right, so I have proficiency with the support MG. I have readiness of 1 now because I'm slightly suppressed. Their heavy weapon is on the Hilux. The Hilux gets the
What do you think, Gumby? Gather around, sing some songs.
All right.
Kumbaya.
That is a total of 10.
Okay. All right. So you hit the vehicle and then roll for damage on the vehicle.
What is it? 2 dice on the
D6.
Right. So first D6, 6 and 2. A 6 and a 2.
Okay. Yep. So you sparks fly up off the bonnet in the front of the vehicle, and you blow out a tire. So it's going to be rather hindered in moving around, but it's still going, still firing at you. Just the guy who's firing gets put off his fire a little bit because it goes boom.
Right.
And he himself is under fire now, so he'll be somewhat suppressed.
Yep. Stu, yeah, just on the comms,
Well,
make an example out of these guys.
Well, there'd be no sense in his doing so right now because remember, there's the open compound that you got with all your vehicles.
I just sorry.
And then beyond.
All right.
More shoot at them, less click, click, boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess McPherson's going to follow Brown's example, and he's going to just use his M4 and try and pick off one of the ne'er-do-wells that disembarked.
Yep. Okay, take a shot.
All right.
So you are firing You're firing. Visibility is equivalent to moon/rain, so that's -2. And you're firing at a range of at least 25 meters, so it's another -2, makes it -4. So what's your that you're long arm supported? So that's +1, becomes -3. You're scoped, so it becomes -2. And you've just got a familiarity. How many have you?
I don't believe I have a familiarity with.
Okay, so it's -2. So you need a straight 12 to hit.
Oh man. Oh, it was 9. Oh, oops. Okay, I thought that was. Yep, never mind. Yeah, that was dang.
Okay, so individual shots. So yeah, in this situation, sort of more like automatic fire, covering fire, and just hoping to get lucky and hit somebody is more the thing, because it's poor light. They're rushing between vehicles and stuff. You have to be a very good shot, or take a slow aim shot to be able to get an individual guy.
Okay.
Okay,
Next.
I'm going to follow suit and attempt to unalive one of these gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have
Are you flipping the giggle switch there, Stapleton?
not just yet.
Okay.
I don't know how much ammo do we actually have. Oh, well, you don't really count that in this game, but
No, you count magazines. When you get a stoppage, it's time to change magazines.
okay.
It's assumed that there might be some changing of magazines at other times as well, but it happens so quickly that it doesn't even become an action.
Okay, I have familiarity, so that's
You'll have six
+1.
magazines. You'll have 6 magazines. So
Okay, 6 mags. All right. I'm gonna take a shot at one of them.
unless you're at the Battle of Kaysan kind of thing, then it's just not an issue.
So, what are all the modifiers again?
Okay, so the modifiers are the poor light, 25 meters, so that's -4.
Okay.
Okay, and you've got a scope, and your long arm supported because you're resting on the windowsill or on top of your backpack or something like that.
Okay.
So that becomes -2. And so then, it's just, are you going to fire automatic or
Single shot. I was gonna do a single shot.
Okay.
Yeah, familiarity of 1. So that's minus
-1.
-1. So I need
So raw roll of 11 or 12 will do it.
7.
7, yeah. So you missed that guy. All right. So their guys come up, and they're obviously working on the front gate. You can't really see through your goggles whether they're trying to blow it or they're trying to cable cut.
Will my grenade launcher be able to reach out and touch someone at the gate?
Yeah, it's got a range of like 300 or 400 meters. So and that's further than you can see because there's buildings in the way.
To whom it may concern.
You could literally just point it at 45 degrees in the air and it would hit something 300 meters away.
Right. I'll brace and do all my thing, and let's see if I can say hi.
Who do you wish to say hello to?
The ones on the gate trying to break in.
Okay.
There's a couple of them there.
Blook. Fire.
Make them feel welcome.
Okay, so a range of -2, and it's dark, so it's -4. You can support it. So it becomes -3. Do you have familiarity with it?
No, explosives, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's
not the same
planting them and stuff.
That's the stuff inside.
I know.
Yeah, so it's
when the way it needs
so it's
to.
it's -3. So you literally cannot hit them with a raw dice roll. However, you might get a miss that is close.
Okay.
And close definitely counts. And
so just roll to see if you get a stoppage or
not. 6 total after the -3.
Yeah. Okay. So you'll miss. So now you miss. You roll for the direction of your miss.
That's a single.
Yep. So a single D6.
That's a 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, it goes short, and it goes short by d6 times 4 meters.
Is it possible to hit yourself with your own grenade on a miss?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
okay.
So
Remember the first time when you guys
got.
got ambushed in the green zone? That happened. One of the enemy did that. He
Right.
threw a grenade and he dropped it at his own feet. Yep. Sorry. How many? What did you roll?
Okay.
So it's d6.
Okay, I didn't. I was just verifying if I did it too. That was 6.
6. Okay. So it's 24 meters short. So you go to fire it, and while you're being fired at, you go, oh, and then you fire down into the compound amongst the vehicles around. It goes boom. It sets fire to one of the vehicles.
Oh.
And
Well,
you hear on the comms Stu going, oi! Don't go any closer. That almost got me.
Whoops.
Stu, would you like me to bring your brown pants yet? Or are we still holding on that?
Alrighty, so they pop open the gates, and they've just got the gates open, and obviously, and next round they will be moving in, and obviously they'll either do a main rush for the main gate, or try to do fire and movement amongst all the vehicles that are parked there.
Well, I'm going to greet them now that they've opened the gate with another burst of 240. Since they're just going to stand there after they pushed it open, like they won the Super Bowl. We're gonna get slammed by the NFL, the superb owl.
All right, rip them up.
All right.
-4, +1 for auto. That's -3.
Yeah, he rolled a 12.
Total of 12.
1 and a 2. That's a 12.
Yeah, it's
1 and 2. All right, so you get a stoppage. You go.
No, I. All right. What are the penalties? I think the penalties overcome there.
It doesn't matter what the penalties are. If you do a raw roll of 1 and 2, that's a stoppage.
Okay. All
All
right.
right. So you get a stoppage. So you'll have to spend next round clearing that stoppage.
Untwisting that ammo belt.
Yeah, it's probably the damn link that always gets jammed up. It happened to me once on an exercise, and it was pitch black at night, and I was issuing challenges as instructed, and we'd been strictly instructed do not fire unless told to, and I was issuing challenges because I saw this bipedal figure moving around in the darkness, and the bipedal figure was not responding to my challenges and that, and I kept issuing the challenges once again. Stop, or I will shoot you. And they didn't respond. So I heard my corporal call out behind me, just fucking shoot him. And so I fired the machine gun, and it went bang, and then stopped. And it was a stoppage. Some of the link had got caught up in the mechanism. It's an old M60. And I said, stoppage, I'm clearing stoppage. And it's insanely hard to do that with an old M60 in complete pitch darkness, overcast, no moon, and everything. And so next I hear this dunk, and the 40 mil para grenade goes. So they have illumination grenades, and so that it goes up, and it just comes down on a little parachute. And so there's this eerie lighting of sort of a red color, and there's shadows moving around and that. And I realized that I've been challenging a roo.
Oh.
My foot talking roo.
Only in Australia, man.
So that's why he didn't respond to my challenges. And he just popped into the bush.
He wasn't deaf, he was ignoring you.
Is there a
He
help
wasn't
action? A help action that I can take to help Brown clear his machine gun?
No, it just takes it around. He'll just like takes the
Okay.
link
Yeah.
off, pulls everything out, put the link back in.
McPherson, would you unalive some of those people out there for me, please, while I fix this?
Oh, sure. Yeah. That's right. Okay.
Fine. Links. Time.
I guess I'll.
Are you going to do single shots or are you going to do
covering fire.
auto? Remember, if you get auto, whoever you were firing at, you also get a shot at people immediately adjacent to them too.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go covering fire
But
on
auto
this one.
is more likely that you'll get a stoppage.
Right.
Plus the stoppage.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in full auto and just try and spray towards the gate.
Yeah, you'll do the Arnie.
Yeah.
Like the other one.
I'm the physician with a mental condition. I don't.
Okay, so 25 meters away, so it's -2. It's long arm supported, so sorry, -2, and then visibility is poor, so it becomes -4. Long arm supported, that's a +1, so it becomes -3. Scoped, it sort of matters with auto, but not really. But yeah, I'll give it to you anyway to be nice. It becomes -2. Auto fire generally, that's a +1, so it becomes -1.
All
Unless
right.
you want to do auto fire one-handed, then it becomes -2. But yeah, -1.
I got a 6.
So you light them up.
Yeah, I got a 6.
You got a 6, yeah. And with the do you have assault? You don't have assault rifle skill, do you? Familiarity, do you? Okay.
Nope.
Because you don't have the assault rifle familiarity, remember the conditions of weapons and equipment. There's new, acceptable, poor, and unusable.
Mm-hmm.
Those conditions, yeah. If you do not have the familiarity, your weapon, unless you just got it out, is automatically in poor condition. Fortunately, you just got it out. So it's in, because the Q store guy makes you clean it up. Fortunately, you just got it out. If you'd been out in the field, you'd be in trouble. So that's so it's in your 50-50. Roll 1d6, 50-50, whether it's acceptable or new condition.
Okay, fair enough.
No. Oh. Oh.
Okay, so it's
Yeah, I
an
got a
acceptable condition. That's full. So yeah, that's actually acts as a stoppage. Then he went to fire.
Oh my god!
It goes click. Oh, the magazine's empty, or whatever. You just take it off, chuck it aside.
I am totally blaming the quartermaster for all of this.
Well, he makes you clean the weapons before you get in. Anyway, anyone else?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna follow suit and flip on the giggle switch, as Bill called it, and start blasting away.
Yep.
Okay, and it was -1 with everything. Or
Yeah.
-2. It was -1.
Yeah, you'll have the same as him.
Except I have familiarity, so it's a straight roll.
Yep.
10.
10. Awesome. Exactly what you need. So you hit
Barely
the first
made
guy. What's your wound on him?
Okay.
Roll D6, D6.
2 and 1. 21.
1. Okay.
2 and 1.
Takes a round in the chest. Doesn't have any body armor, so he goes down like a sack of spuds. And then you get an attack roll on each guy adjacent to him.
Okay. Let's see.
It looks like these guys are just running straight up the guts. They're not bothered taking cover.
Okay, that is an 11. That one worked. So,
Yep. So wounding.
same thing, 2 and 1.
Okay. Boom. He goes down. And the third one.
Third one. And nope, that's a 4. That's a miss.
Okay.
And second verse, same as
4,
first.
but what condition is your weapon in? So,
Well, I do have the
okay,
familiarity.
so on your second shot, you get a stoppage. Oh, sorry, on that last shot, after you've taken out 2, the third one you think you get, but no, you got a stoppage.
Oh, Christ.
Okay. Alrighty. So next round, there's 3 out of the 4 of you at least clearing
do I not
stoppages.
get
What
to,
about Sumawara?
Yeah, I'm going to do another grenade.
Okay, so this was a single shot weapon, so you'll actually be reloading this round. You'll be able to fire next round. So next round, when everyone else is clearing their stoppages, you'll be ready to fire. So at least one of the four of you will be firing.
Okay.
Okay, so two of them go down. The other several of them come running straight up the guts towards the grenades, and sorry, not the grenades, towards the claymores.
Yep.
And you hear Bennett go do a grunt. There's a grunt, and then there's a damn it. And they just hop over the claymores and they come running in.
Don't.
McPherson's going to get on the radio and he's going to say, Stu, I think it's about to get pretty much like Denny's up in here. Just a heads up.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't understand the comment either. That's why I highlighted it.
Superb.
I think it was supposed to be rolls, but auto-corrected.
I had made a comment about the superb owl, and I think Lux
All right.
bowls.
The Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Yes.
All righty.
Superb owl bears. Okay, we're all reloading.
Or reloading. Next round. Okay. Sumawara. There are still some guys streaming in. Several guys have entered the building, so you won't be able to shoot at them from where you are.
All right.
But there are still some other guys streaming in, and there's still the 4 technicals that are firing on the building.
I'm gonna go for the closest.
Okay. Are you doing? All right. So that's with your blue gun. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Was that -3 or?
Yeah.
Number? I don't remember. Okay.
Yeah, -3. So you roll just to see if you get a stoppage or not.
Yep. 0 after the modifiers.
All right. So you get a stoppage. You go. It doesn't go off. And as a demolitions expert, you're rather nervous when explosives were meant to go off, but they do not. Because traditionally you're supposed to wait like 20 or 30 minutes for them to see if they go off and that. So you think it's probably better to like change to your sidearm.
Yeah.
At this point, like
Drop it out the window.
Just chuck this out the window or something.
Out the window. Yeah.
See if you can hit one of the
It'll go off when it
claymores.
hits the ground.
See if you can hit one of the claymores and set it off.
Sure. Let's aim for a claymore with it.
All right, next round. All right, everyone else is changing magazines or clearing stoppages and that. All right, so next round. Okay, so similar, you're going to chuck it out the window.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can hit a claymore. I don't know if I'm that strong or not, but
Okay, just make a roll. I mean, you don't have strength or throwing or anything like that, but anyone can chuck something.
that's a
Just
4.
make a roll. That's a 4. Okay, you throw it. You try to throw it out the window, but the barrel actually strikes the window edge, and it bounces back into the room.
Oh,
It does not go off. It just drops by the window. It does not go off.
Can we get the Benny Hill music going on in the background at this point? Yeah, just about
It's
that.
just a normal combat, really, or science.
Conflict, the role-playing game of Modern Warfare and Keystone Cops.
Alrighty. So the rest of you have reloaded, and you can now fire down. Of course, there are now enemy running around inside the building. You start to hear gunshots and screaming and angry shouts. And
I'm going to
Only worry about the targets in front of us right now. So
I don't know. I was thinking about heading down and try to join the battle because Stu's down there with one local cop, and I feel bad about screwing up the claymores.
Kyle,
I mean-
who do I have in sight? I will introduce them to hopefully a completely working support machine gun now.
Okay, yeah, it should be working now. So yeah, are you continuing poking that through the window, or are you taking that inside the building? What?
If I see people outside, I mean, I know we hear them, but I
Well,
don't.
there's still the 4 technicals outside.
Okay.
Still those 4 technicals, but they're just laying down suppressive fire to.
But there's nobody on the ground still coming into the building.
Not that you can see, no.
Okay.
It seems like they've all come running in.
That's different then. Yes, we should clean the building out. Because the technicals can hose concrete wall until their barrels melt for all I care. Yeah, let's. I was under the impression we still had groups rushing in. If they're all inside, yeah, we're gonna go down and we're gonna get to Stu.
Yep. Alrighty. So you come out. So you remember you're on the second level. So you come out through the main door. So there's all these rooms off the corridor. The corridor runs along the front, which is where you guys have been. And you come out through that corridor, and that goes into the lobby stairwell area. And as you come out, you see Stu running up the stairs, and he's pursued by several squad of Righteous Fury guys.
I will fire on them.
And he has Stu also has a lot of blood all across his front.
Okay. I will yell to Stu to hit the deck, and I will hose him.
Alrighty, hose him. You'll be able to get about 3 of them if you just sort of lean over the stairwell. It's got one of those metal, wrought iron banister things, and if you just lean over it, you'll be able to get like 3 of them.
Alrighty.
No, you don't have all the light penalties and stuff. So,
all right, a 7 total with my first.
Okay, so hang on. So yeah, there's no modifiers due to range or anything like that. They're within 6 meters. So 7, is that with your familiarity? Yeah. So you won't hit the guy. All his rounds just go around him. But yeah.
Okay. Does it at least give him pause?
Yeah, it will. Okay, on either side.
And I guess the second pull of the trigger.
Yep. Well, the idea is that it's one long pull.
Oh.
And then, like auto fire by definition spreads out. So especially with a dedicated machine gun squad, automatic weapon as they call it nowadays, they talk about a beaten zone, and it's sort of an oval shape where the rounds fall.
How about a 9?
Anything within that zone has a bad day. A 9 won't hit. You need 10 or more.
Even at okay.
But you put in your +1?
Yes, I did.
Okay. +1 familiarity and your +1 for auto fire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So that just misses. And the third one.
That's a 14.
Okay. So one of the guys, roll for wounding on him.
That's a 3
And
a 5.
5.
So
okay. So you shoot him in the arm. He goes, ugh. And he drops his rifle, drops his AK, and all 3 of them just drop and they back off.
Okay.
Because they've been suppressed and they only have readiness 1.
Would anyone care to join me?
I would love to.
Yep, I think we're all piling on.
Auto fire.
Auto fire.
Auto
Dr.
fire. No, automatic, and no, that is only a 9. That does not do it. But 2 more times. Again, that is a 9. Okay, new dice.
That's
I
what
got
you're going to jail.
I just got a pile of 6-siders here. I'm like, nope, not you.
I love players' superstitions about dice. It's hilarious.
And it's still 2 new dice. Still a 9.
Have you ever tried I've heard of the punishment, especially for the D20. When the D20 displeases you, you put it in the freezer for a week.
Oh,
Oh, that's a new one.
I see him rip
that's
off
also-
the exact burst over their heads, and I just reach over and grab his M4 barrel, like pull it 2 degrees down.
I guess.
But on the bright side, it didn't have a stoppage.
What does Stu look like? I'm not going to assess him, but I am going to look at him real quick.
He's like 6'5", mustache.
His beard looks really mean. His face has been smashed in. He's bandaging up a wound that's on his arm.
Okay.
I'm
So it doesn't
assuming
look-
all the blood isn't his.
You don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Blood goes a long way. It's
I think
I'll
there's a
join
bit
the
more
fray.
pressing matter downstairs. So I'm just going to pull a pin on the grenade and then just like hold it out over the stairwell and drop it. Like a mic
it's
drop.
not it's not one of those. It's like a mansion type stairwell. You know what I mean? So it's like or a hotel lobby
Down
kind of
landing,
stairwell.
down landing, like that.
Yeah, so it just it's a big wide one. So the grenade would kind of roll down rather than drop straight down. You know what I mean? Like a hotel lobby stairwell as opposed to a fire escape stairwell or a cheap apartment building stairwell. Cheap apartment
Okay,
building
so-
stairwell, you could just drop straight down. But so it all rolled down.
And you said they backed off to like what, the landing prior? I
Yeah,
guess?
just out of your visibility anyway. So it would probably be the landing before you.
Sure. Yeah, I guess I'll just try and rebound it off the wall or something.
Okay, make a roll.
All right.
So help me
Rolls
God.
downstairs, a lunar in pairs.
Just straight roll any.
2d6.
Yeah.
Make a roll. Well, you don't have throwing. So
Okay.
2d6.
7.
7. Okay. And technically you are firing blind because you're not aiming at a particular target. You're trying to rebound around the corner kind of thing. Okay, so that's a miss. So it will go by. It will be. This is your d6 roll. But what direction it misses and by how much? So roll 1d6.
6.
6. Okay, so that's. Okay, so it goes front left. Oh shit. Okay, yeah. And how many meters?
Oh, that's already. We're off to a great start, everybody. Let's drift the Humvee again. God. 4.
4 meters. Okay, so you go to throw it down the stairs. You're right on the balcony like that, or there's that, like I said, that wrought iron stuff, and you go to throw it down the stairs. You're trying to do that angle, and because you try to do that angle, it actually bounces off the ironworks that you're standing next to, and it rolls 4 meters that way towards the front wall.
Where we are?
Boom! Yes, where you are, and where you were lined up firing. Okay. All right, so. But none of you will take max damage. You'll just take 1 wound each. Okay, so first roll for the damage against your friend Warren Brown. D6.
I'm so sorry.
You're the anti-medic.
I guess. I just keep hurting people more than I'm helping them.
The paranoia.
5.
5 and
No, it was a 2
No,
and a
no, no,
3.
no. You rolled.
2 and a 3. Sorry.
A 2 and a 3. Okay. So fortunately, he's wearing body armor and it's fragmentation grenade, so it's no damage. It's not a wound. His body. So like all these little bits of wire go at ballistic speed against his vest.
Okay.
All right.
It's kept him alive. Otherwise, without the vest, that would be a mortal wound.
Oh, good. Okay. All right.
Okay. Next in line is Sumuwata. Sumuwata. Yeah, she was going Luke.
Okay. At a 5.
Oh no, Sumuwata was back because she was.
No,
like,
I
busy.
was
You were there,
shooting
yeah.
along. I was doing.
Sumuwata
auto
was
along
back
with him.
because she just had her sidearm.
Okay.
So yeah, Jason will be next.
5 and a 3.
5 and a 3. Okay, so a minor wound on his right leg. So.
Oh God.
Yep, and now on yourself.
Okay.
It's everyone within 6 meters.
All right. You got a 3
That's on your right arm somewhere.
and a 4?
Yeah, it's
4?
a 4.
Yep. So a minor wound on your right arm.
Oh, good. Okay.
Boom! And your ears are ringing from this explosion inside, bouncing off marble floors and all the rest.
Lemony Semtex.
I guess.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I just can't win. I just can't win. I'm better off just putting my gun on the ground and I'll probably end up hurting more people that way. So.
I know Bill T isn't drinking alcohol, but when he took that swig, it looked like a very square JD's kind of bottle, and I wouldn't blame him right now.
It's tea, a little bit of tea.
There you go, tea.
I prefer to believe it's JD's. It's like, oh no.
Right? Yeah.
Wow.
Boom. Okay. Well, it's a little bit of a standoff at the moment because they're not coming up because you keep firing in their direction, and apparently you're not going down.
Mm-hmm.
So, or are you? What are you doing? So next round, what are you going to do?
Are we prone or anything from the blast, or are we still able to? Are we still standing?
Oh, you're probably lying around, but yeah, you could just get up as part of your action because you're not suppressed or whatever. Because you've got 2 actions now.
Okay.
It's just so far you use them, like moving from the corridor to the stairwell was one action, and then firing was an action, and then readying the grenade and then chucking it was 2 actions. So
okay,
yeah, now you've all got 2 actions rather than you.
I'm going to throw a grenade down there.
Yep.
Yeah, let's do that.
Please show me how it's done, Bill. Please, for the love of God.
Do I have a familiarity in just dropping, so I can just drop the grenade?
Well, anyone can just drop. If you're not aiming at a particular target, you can just drop. It's when you're trying to aim that you get into trouble.
Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm just dropping. I'm not trying to get fancy. I'm not a grenade bender.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to channel
the stairs will bounce it down.
If you want to throw it at somebody's feet or bounce it off a wall or something like that, you need to make a 2-hit roll. But in this case, you don't need to make a 2-hit roll. Well, except in as much to just see if there's a stoppage, because it might be a dud or something,
all right,
or you fumble it and drop it at your feet.
Right. Let's make sure it's not a stoppage. It's not a stoppage.
Okay. But it'll be a miss nonetheless, so you see how much it misses them by. So it will go down, so even if you fall short, it'll just go directly underneath you and might still hurt them.
Scatter 1 2 meters.
1. All right, so it goes to the back, 2 meters to the back. So it just bounces off the wall behind, and you see where it goes, so then you just pull your head back. It goes boom, and it'll catch one of the guys.
Woohoo! He will take. Oh, that's a head wound. A 4 to the dome.
4 to the dome. Okay, so he's got a severe wound to his head. Yeah, that was the guy who was already wounded by being shot by you. So he just falls down and loses interest in proceedings. Because he's done his country by...
but they're nowhere near him. So,
yeah.
All right, next grenade.
Okay, let's try to clear the way. That is an 11. Holy crap!
Nice.
Okay.
Planted it on him, dude. Nice.
You're the good dice.
Wait, is that a 5 and a 6 or a 1 and a 1?
That's a 5 and a 6.
It's my brother.
It is a 5 and a 6.
All right.
I trust the man. All right, so yeah, roll for your wounding on 2 guys.
Okay.
So 1 it'll land right at his feet, so he takes 2 wounds.
Okay. 3 and a 1.
Yep. So that'll be his severe wound on his arm. Yep.
And second one, 6 and 1.
6 and 1. Okay. Yep. So that's a mortal wound on his leg, below his femoral artery. So you hear this blood-curdling scream, and this big spurt of blood comes on the wall behind him. So you see around the corner, you see this big spurt of blood coming.
We're making a splatter horror movie. You wanna join us?
Sure, I'll throw another one.
It's reminiscent of a Jack Pollock.
Been doing.
Michael Dale says, "Do you know exactly how many guys are coming in from where, or are you winging it?" I know exactly how many, and no, I'm not winging it. I'm not winging that, because if I wing that, I might do something silly like the players annoy me, so I put another 5 guys there. Or I feel sorry for the players, so I take 5 guys away or something. I want it to be objective, so I made the plan. I rolled for how many guys they had available, and yeah, and that was that. You've got to try to keep it objective for yourself as DM, so that you're not too harsh on the players, but you're not too nice either.
He's stern but fair.
McPherson's going to look over at Stapleton and say, I know this might be a bad time, but when we get back to the States, please don't file any malpractice lawsuits for any preemptive surgeries.
Yeah, Michael says, it wasn't an accusation, just wondering if you have a detailed map. Yeah, I have a detailed map, but we haven't needed it. So
I rolled a 4.
If you could just also, a detailed map tends to make things a bit more abstract for the players and to often give them a bit more information than they'd have. If you've been in a real trauma situation, doesn't have to have been a firefight, like a punch on, or had to do CPR on someone. You find you get this tunnel vision, and you miss a lot of things, and that kind of fog of war, as it is, and can be fog of any conflict situation, can also be simulated by verbal descriptions, which will be necessarily precise in that. And also, I don't want it to become a sort of like playing chess, and it's like, oh, I want to move 5 meters, but oh no, you've only got 4 meters of movement, and this sort of thing where you're fiddling about or whatever. So try to keep it a bit more loose. If it's one-on-one, if it's Matrix and Bennett dueling it out at the end of the movie, okay, we can go detail. But when it's like there's several players and several NPCs fighting it out and everything, you've got to sort of loosen it up. Same applies for D&D and all the rest too. How much do we have to super chat to add more guys?
Just put a $10 tag out there. I'll throw another grenade. I'll do it. I'm crazy.
So I rolled a 4, so I'm assuming I didn't flub it.
PayPal me $100 and I'll kill my character right now.
All right. Yeah, that's only just avoiding a stoppage. Some water. Only just avoiding a stoppage. Okay, so yeah, you fling it in their general direction. You'll miss by, you need a D6 and a D6 roll.
3.
3, so that's
and
1,
a 2.
2, 3. And 2 meters. So it lands actually on the stairs and then goes dunk, 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 boom, and goes off. And it just gets the guy who was already on that side, who had already been shot in the arm, had already been wounded in the head by one explosion. So it makes a mess of him, finishes him off.
All right, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. You don't have to worry about him.
Okay.
Not only is he's done his duty by his country, that's what it's going to say in his obituary as well. All right, so you've thrown all these grenades, and as I said, they're not firing back at you at the moment. Because as well as automatic fire causing suppression, 3 or more single-shot weapons firing at a person or group of persons simultaneously counts as automatic fire for that purpose, right? Like if you got 3 guys firing at you, bang, 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 you feel the same way about it as you do with automatic fire. That includes people throwing things at you. So in my blog, in one of the example combats, there's a bar fight, and the protagonist has people throwing billiard balls and glass pitchers of booze and glass bottles and billiard cues and things like that at her when she dies behind a bar going, ah! As they throw things. So having 3 or more people throw grenades at them also suppresses them, just like automatic fire does. They're ducking down and they're waiting for somebody to give them instructions. So as long as you keep firing at them, then they'll back off until somebody rolls up and tells them what to do. All right. You hear a general notice go out on the radio. It seems that the Das Kapital police are holding off the guys on their side. However, there's an attack on the presidential palace. And so the Prevention Bureau guys, the SWAT team guys, are going to jump in a chopper from the roof and go and protect the president.
Oh.
So they're getting out of here.
Okay.
Are there still other American personnel in this building, or was it just us?
It's you and the headquarters guys. So there's Colonel Lang and there's a bunch of comm guys and that as well. And there's a few civilian contractors. So there's the guy who was in charge of the catering company, and the Q store guy and all the rest, and a few people like that. Apart from yourselves, there's probably about 12.
Okay.
Not counting the journalists and stuff that sometimes hang out here.
Do you want me to bandage that, Stapleton?
Ain't got time to bleed.
Brought to you by Always. Sorry. Stupid humor. Actually, I think I'm okay right now. What I want to do now, if I'm correct, we were like throwing there's the stairway that goes down, and we're up here, and it goes down this way, and we were on the side throwing stuff over.
Yep.
Okay. I want to move around because they're currently hunkered down there, down to this side of the stairs, and like crouch down right where like the stairwell starts, and just like aim the rifle there. So if anybody comes out, I'm ready to spray them.
Yep. Yep.
So we can get them from 2 angles.
Yep.
Okay. You hear lots of shouting below. Obviously, somebody's taking command. You don't understand what they're saying, but being all ex-soldiers or ex-soldiers, you all recognize the sort of, what are you doing? Get off your ass, move. That kind of thing. You recognize that tone of voice. So somebody's taking command there and getting them moving. And so there's this little standoff and a little wait. And after a few minutes, there's this, you hear ping, ping, and a couple of grenades come up at you. Blind. Okay, one comes out. You see the hand come out, and it drops it. And you hear a shout, which is obviously profanity in Pashto.
I think I found my Pymeri doppelganger, everybody.
And the second one comes up, and that will be a miss. The second one comes up, seems to be coming in the right direction, but then it bounces off a stair, and then it comes back and it bounces off the wall again, and it bounces back down the stairs.
Yeah, I would have to say that would be difficult to throw them up the stairs because they would just bounce back down.
Hey, Chris.
Gravity
Yes.
works.
Yes. So they're firing blind, which is -4. So it's tough. Like these, in the Battle of Stalingrad, there was like one elevator shaft that like they fought over for 12 days or something. Like fighting upwards through this building is just horrible. It's horrible business, especially for these guys. So you hear boom, boom, and screams of pain and so on.
Just to
Okay,
clarify, there is no elevator shaft in this building, right?
No.
Okay.
Stu's not still on the stairs, is he?
He's not around. You don't see him around at the moment.
Oh God,
He's gone again. Dude's like Batman.
Well, nobody's given him explicit instructions, so he does what he reckons.
Okay.
I'm sure he's causing havoc down below.
He didn't run down the stairs. He might have found some other route.
Okay.
I mean, there were fire escapes and stuff, but they've
Yeah.
all been barricaded up.
Well, at least we'll be justified if the media catches wind of this
Yeah.
this time.
Okay, so there's all right, so you hear more shouting and you hear sound like furniture being moved. And then like there's this sort of grind, thump, 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 curse, grind, thump.
From down there.
You see the corner, from down below, and you see the corner of a big, heavy metal desk come around the bottom of the stairs.
The second I see that, my next grenade's going down. I mean, just the moment I see movement.
Alrighty. So the moment you see the desk come up, okay. The written comment: just then a crazy insurgent comes barreling up the stairs with unexploded claymores duct taped to his chest, yelling "Leroy Jenkins!" As you don't speak the language, all you hear is "Durka."
Ahmed Jenkins.
That's a 10. That is a 10, Kyle.
Alrighty. Okay, so you chuck it and it like neatly drops behind the metal desk. It goes off. So roll damage against the unfortunate who's immediately behind it.
That is a head wound.
Mm-hmm.
That is a severe head wound. Or wait,
And
lower.
the second one, landed right on it.
Okay.
The second. So yeah, it's one wound normally, and then the second one if you like ground zero.
Okay. The second one was less severe, but the first one was pretty severe.
Okay.
So I got a 1 and a 4, or a 1 and a 5, and a 6 and a 4.
Okay. So yeah, you hear screaming and a thump, and then you hear more shouted orders. The desk starts moving again. And they're
Now I
obviously
throw my white phosphorus grenade.
Oh,
Just upping with the war crimes, Bill.
wow.
I'll just do a regular grenade. I'll lob it too.
Actually, I'm going to wait for the rest of the party to act,
Yeah.
Kyle, before I start committing war
Let's-
crimes.
All right, what are you guys going to do? All right, so you hear on the radio that the Prevention Bureau guys are gone.
Okay. As soon as like I see signs of movement in there, I'm just going to open up with full auto from my position.
Okay.
God damn it! I knew the luck would run out. That's not an 11. That is 2 1s. I got another.
You open up. Oh, I forgot to change mags before.
Pull the trigger, the slide flies off. Damn it.
I just throw the mag down at him like.
Yeah.
The
Well,
Looney
so you
Tunes, they want their show back.
You've used your first action to fire. You've
Yeah.
got a stoppage, so you can use your second action to do clear the stoppage. So you'll be ready to go next round. Okay,
I'm
so
gonna lob another grenade.
yep. Make your roll.
That's a 6 and a 4, so 10.
Oh, okay. So that'll hit whoever's behind the desk.
Okay.
So roll 2 wounds. So a d6 and then a d6 separately.
A 2
Yep.
and a 5.
5. Okay, so somebody's wounded, and then the second wound.
A 5
Yep.
and a 5.
5. Yeah. So you don't know how final it is though. Okay. So the let me check.
Can McPherson get in on this too?
Yeah. Okay.
As long as you actually hit him.
Yeah, I guess.
Please do.
Go for it. Go for
All
it.
right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take Stapleton's lead, and while he's messing with his rifle, I'm just gonna scoot past him and try and open up on full auto, because apparently me and grenades are not friends.
Well, you can just be lying prone, on the floor and just like poke your rifle through the wrought iron and.
Okay. Yeah.
Or you can jump up and be more of a target. It's up to you.
Sure. I mean, you said I can or can't?
You can. You can be lying prone and
I will
be firing down.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. We'll just bap at him from here.
Yeah. Let's see if I can. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Don't worry about that. All right. Sorry, I was just checking the numbers, seeing who's still alive, fighting. All right. Yeah, you have to be careful to never commit war crimes and lose, says Lux. Quite right. Alrighty. So, yep, that fire. They're behind the desk, so you're firing blind.
All right. So -1 for firing blind.
That's -4.
Oh. All right. Sounds good. That's 6.
6. Yep. All right. So you don't hit anyone. But nothing horrible happens to you either. So that's a bonus. Okay.
Sorry.
Next round comes, and you hear that apparently the Das Kapital, the regular police, are surrendering to the insurgents. Group by group, they're surrendering to the insurgents. Once Shah and his prevention bureau guys pissed off, then
Now I'm going to commit a war crime. Ping.
All right, chuck it out. Make your roll.
And this will be the one to bounce back on me. So
Come
No,
on.
it's a 7. So we have a 1 scatter and 5 meters.
Okay, it scatters far, so it bounces off the back wall, goes the 2 meters off the back wall, comes 3 meters back. So it explodes just in front of the. It goes just in front of the desk.
Okay.
And so flares up. All right. In the next round, that will set fire to the desk. Nobody's going to be able to go through it. You guys aren't going to be able to see through it either. So you'll all be firing blood.
They're not coming up this stairwell.
Yeah. It'll burn for a few rounds. Michael Dale says every dollar super chat is worth 1/5 of the bonus die rolls. $5 is
Yeah.
+1.
Thank you very much.
Yes, but is it +1 for the GM or +1 for the players?
I say it's +1.
Well,
For
I can't tell from all the comments. You know, I don't know. Which side
I think they get to specify in chat. Like
This
$5
ain't your
for the GM.
That's for the players. No. It's we love the supers, but
alrighty. You hear Lang get on the radio and says, "You got to hold them off for a few more minutes. We're getting a chopper in to evac us out. We're just destroying all the equipment in here."
Okay. Understood.
all right.
Oh boy.
Kyle, is there another stairwell, or is this it?
This is it. You'll have to like go around and go up, but I mean, you can easily go around and come up.
Okay. Well, no, I'm asking if you have to go to another stairwell to cover it.
Yeah.
Should I quickly plant a tripwire happy time and us evacuate then?
Would you?
Oh, please do.
Yeah,
Pull
pull
the
You can easily do a makeshift one with a hand grenade and a bit of fishing wire.
Yeah, pull the claymore off of Leroy's chest.
I've just got this odd vision in my head of like a flashbang and a C4 a la Beauty and the Beast doing "Be Our Guest, Be Our Guest."
So I'll set that up here, and then as we go up the next stairwell, I'll put it at the base too.
Yeah, probably could be a good idea.
If at first you don't succeed, try again.
There you go. That's the attitude.
Okay, make your DEMS roll. It's not a very hard task, and you can take your time to do it.
Okay, so
Willie
it's
Pete's going on.
2d6, correct.
Or in our case, if at first you don't succeed, auto fire.
That's a 6.
6 total.
Yes.
Okay, and then for the second one.
And that's a 6, 2 3s.
Okay. Alrighty. You don't think you've done a particularly brilliant job, but it should be functional. Probably, if they're in a rush, they probably won't see it. If they take their time, they'll see it and step over it or disarm it. Because it's just a physical trigger thing. You've just got a bit of fishing nylon attached to pull the pin, and the hand grenades duct taped to one of the railings.
Staple.
Considering how good they are with the grenades, I'm not too worried.
When we fall back, pop a smoke, make it harder for them to see.
On it.
Okay. Alrighty. So the auto fire starts coming up, and through the smoke, as the Willie Pete dies down, it's blind fire, but it will still suppress you. So you guys are sort of crouching down. You're crouching down as you're setting up the second fragmentation grenade trap. Crouching down, and there's rounds pinging around, brass falling onto the marble floor. You guys are popping off the occasional shot back, but everyone's firing blind, so nobody has a chance to see. So shooting back and then going through lots of ammo, getting lots of stoppages and changing magazines and that. And you make your way up to the third level. And on the third level, Lang and the intel guys are coming up. You see smoke in the background as they're burning papers and stuff. And Lang's got a couple of Willie Pete grenades, and he pulls a pin, and he chucks them into the room with all the computers. And that all goes off. And he says, "Up to the roof."
All
and
right.
he heads up the stairs to the roof.
All right.
I will
Right
plant
here.
a couple more as we go, just as a
Okay.
welcome.
Alrighty. Make 2 more rolls then.
Where is Stu?
Yeah. We're
Stu's
leaving,
coming.
Stu.
Yeah, I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
Stu, watch out. We've booby trapped the stairwell.
Radio.
What?
Right. Okay.
What playing? Boom.
Alrighty. So yeah, there's like bang, 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 all through the smoke and lots of noise and drama. Okay, you go running up to the roof. From below, you hear a muffled and some distant screams.
Stu,
You see some Dusk Capital police being herded out into the main compound by some of the insurgents when you peer over the roof. There's a helicopter it's a large one, so it's just got the back end hanging on the ramp down. There's a Marine crewmaster who's waving you on.
Oh, he doesn't have to wave more than once.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
I've seen it. I've seen how the director's cut of this end movie ends, and I'm not sticking around for it.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So so Lang says, "Yep, you guys go on. I've got to check the gear's wrecked." And he says, "One of you come with me." Bennett says, "I'll come."
Oh,
boy.
What? Bennett's trying to look after Lang. I mean, you could come if you want.
Yeah, no.
Does anyone else want to go with him?
I'm gonna stay put up here. I'm not any good down there.
On the helicopter.
Rock, paper, scissors.
I guess McPherson's gonna hold the door. I'm assuming that it's a door with a stairwell that leads down, not really like like a floor door, but like I'm gonna hold the door for them. I'm gonna hold the door and just make sure that if the baddies start coming, I can hightail or I can cover them.
Alrighty. All right, so they go running down. There's a chopper waiting. There's the civilians piling on. They're taking their time. You see the crew chief takes a bag off somebody and chucks it aside. You don't get to take all your luggage. There's no carry on here. It's like just chuck everything aside. And so they're stalling a little bit, but still they have to wait a few minutes for Lang and the others. So you hear on the radio, hurry up, come on.
Is there any movement at the door?
Yeah. You hear lots of noise, lots of shouting and shooting. The occasional boom. All the rest. So, like I said, they've got the Dusk Capital police herded out in the front compound. There's a fair bit of movement out the front. And it does occur to you this would be a bad time to get shot down by a surface to air missile.
I guess McPherson being the only one not in the chopper, I'm gonna go down the stairs.
You're on the top of the roof. You can look down to see if anyone's going, to fire an RPG or something at the chopper.
Do I go and look for them or protect the chopper? I guess protect the chopper because there's a lot more people than two people on the chopper. I'll go peer over and see if there's any surface to air RPG shenanigans.
Okay, observation, tactical, make a roll.
All right.
Are there any like weapons on the chopper that we can like jump on? Like if there's any
there's already a Marine on them.
Okay.
I got an 8.
But he's not opening up because he doesn't want to take out the Dusk Capital police prisoners of war.
8 as a straight roll.
Yep. Okay, and you've got your normal observation and everything, and you know what you're looking for. So, yep. Okay, you see a guy. And he's got a grail.
Okay. I'm gonna. How lined up is he? I mean, has he loaded the thing? Is he looking at the helicopter? Is he in?
He and his mate are loading it up.
I'm gonna take the time to steady aim
Yep.
my rifle.
Yep.
Do we see him aiming?
Yeah, if you get out of the chopper, and once McPherson points it out to you, you'll see it.
I'm like peek out of the chopper, like, what the hell is he doing? Oh, he's aiming at something. Okay.
Okay, so he's 50 meters away, so that's a -3. It's still poor light and everything, and snow. That's a -2, so that becomes -5. Okay, you've got a long arm supported, so that's +1. Scope, that's +1. That's so +2. You're aiming for at least one action, so it becomes +3. You don't have familiarity, so there's no bonus there. So it's -5 +3, so a net -2.
Okay.
Okay, you can aim a bit longer and becomes a net -1, and a bit longer still becomes a net 0. You don't know how long it's going to take them to set this thing up.
Right.
Remember, they'll have the visibility problems, etc. too.
I mean, I have a feeling. So if they're in the process of loading it, that's one action. He's gonna have to aim it and get a lock. So that would probably be one. So I could probably go with the -1 penalty because I really got to hit this. Yeah, I'm gonna take the extra time to try just one extra second before I shoot.
Okay. Shoot.
Okay. So it's at -1.
Yep.
All right. Come on. I got an 8.
An 8. Boom. You just miss him. Okay. You do distract him a bit. Okay. I make his roll. All right. Let's see. He's also at 50 meters, -3. Visibility is poor, so -5. Okay. He's got a spotter assisting. He's aiming, so 2. He's supported. 3. All right. -2. All right. So he needs a straight 12 to hit. He doesn't get, so he goes, and it goes, and then goes over the chopper and sails off somewhere and lands in some poor bastard's backyard, probably.
Okay.
You hear another boom from below.
Oh, they're coming.
And Bennett comes running up, and he said, "Lang tripped over one of those bloody frag traps." Let's go.
Can we drag him?
Yeah.
And and
Is he dead?
Bennett is he's gone. He's blown up.
All right, let's go.
And
All right.
Bennett is carrying his backpack with a lot of clinking inside it.
All right, we're
Come
leaving.
on, let's go.
Don't we gotta? I guess we gotta kill this guy because if we're flying away, he's still gonna get a lock. Is it a little table talk?
I think the pilot's probably going to be popping out flares. Like
All
it's
right.
going to look like 4th of July and Christmas as soon as we get airborne.
All right,
And I'm
that's enough
sure
to
they've
convince
got
me. Yeah.
We're gonna be
on
harder.
board, too.
We'll be harder to hit if we're moving. Let's go.
Yes. All right. Yeah. McPherson's gonna help you go and get in the chopper.
Alrighty. So yeah, you go off to the chopper and it takes off from the building, and there's all this small arms fire starts popping off around you, and rounds are going ping into the fuselage. Very hard to hear over the roar of the rotors. It takes off, and as it's taking off, the ramp then is drawn up, and so lots of ping into the fuselage and all the rest, and you shook around and you're falling around a bit until you get yourself into the seats, and fly along and hear, and that'll be the chaff going off, the flares going off to put off and if you can't see out any windows or anything, but you assume that if there's any grails going off, that they're missing. And it flies off, and about 10 minutes later, you arrive down at the airfield. At the airfield, there's a big firefight going on. The Marines are just being lit up by insurgents. You didn't know there were this many insurgents in the country. They're just being lit up. And there were 2 companies of Marines, remember? And about 1.5 companies of those Marines are piling onto an Antonov. And while you're there, a refueling truck comes up, and it refuels the chopper that you're on. And they're going around and fueling up some other choppers as well.
Is there a country marking on this Antonov?
On this, oh yeah, it's an American one. It's US Air Force one.
I didn't.
Oh, sorry, not an what am I saying? Not an Antonov, a
C-130?
Globemaster. Globemaster.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
I was going to say
Mixing
that,
up my-
that would be a little unusual.
Yeah, I'm mixing up my things. Alrighty, so yeah. He's just holding only the drag handle from Bennett's pack. I'm not sure what that's referring to. Probably poor old Lang. Anyway, yeah, so there's lots of choppers in that. And this guy comes running up, and he speaks to Bennett. Bennett says, "Come on, lads. There won't be room for us on there. That's for the Marines. I've got us a chopper out of here."
You do, Stu?
You got a
I
chopper.
got us a
Alright,
chopper
let's
out
go.
of here.
Okay.
Sure. Why not?
Man, all that time at the local bars, you must have made some networks, huh?
I guess.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. So,
And yep, so you go piling off, and you go off. It's a brand of chopper that you don't realize. It's got no country markings on it or anything. And there's a guy in regular civilian clothing and a co-pilot sitting behind there. There's plenty of room for all of you and your gear that you're carrying. Bennett gets into the chopper, and he tells you all to buckle up, and he's got his contact, and the chopper starts taking off. Bennett tells you to put on all the headphones and stuff, and so that you can talk. And he says, "Fellas," and his voice is now not an American accent anymore, but a British one. He says, "This is my mate Boris,
Oh,
and
lovely.
here's your pay." He says, and he opens up his pack, and he hands you a gold bar each.
Okay.
All right.
think about it. I just said, just shove it in my pocket.
Put that in the backpack. Zip.
And he said, "We did exactly what I was paid for. Well done," he says.
Oh.
Works
So,
for me.
have you ever been to Denny's then?
"No, mate, never
Oh.
been."
Fair enough. Where are
I'm
we
just
going?
very perplexed.
So am I.
Now-
but my character,
I'm thinking all you can eat breakfast, but
the
So,
player,
yeah, the
the
chopper
tree
takes off.
doesn't care,
Takes
right?
off and starts flying north.
North.
Yes,
Oh.
starts flying north away. You had expected that it would fly like south to go across Afghanistan and then to Pakistan or something,
Yeah.
or
We're
west.
going
Yeah,
into
it's-
Russia.
you're flying. Yeah, flying north. Yeah, as I said, this is my mate Boris.
So he did.
And McPherson, at this moment, you have a little flashback. There was that combat that you were in, and when you were treating the wounded Marine immediately after the combat at the intersection, and Bennett was helping you, and the Marine who'd been wounded by a hand grenade was lying there gasping, choking out on his blood. And he wasn't looking at you, who was treating him. He was looking at Bennett, who was assisting you. and he raised his hand and tried to point to Bennett. And for some reason, that just suddenly goes through your head right now.
Huh.
Did
And
you
Bill
know?
it suddenly occurs to you, that Marine who had the phone ringing in his backpack, what happened to him? Why did Bennett attack him? What's been going on? And who the hell has given Bennett all this gold? And what did he mean when he said, "We have done exactly what I was paid for"?
Yeah, I'm keeping my mouth shut. I have a lot of suspicions. Player has a lot of suspicions. Character has a lot
of suspitions.
Player is
Yeah,
keeping.
I'm just going to be quiet and see how this plays out.
Character is keeping his mouth shut, rather.
Okay, and then in that case,
hold on.
I tell him thank you. I tell him
Hold
thank
on.
you, and when he hands me the gold, I tell him thank you in Russian.
Hold on.
See if Boris reacts.
Hold on. Oh,
How does Boris react? He starts talking to you in Russian.
What does he say?
He says, "Oh, from where did you learn Russian?"
Oh, learned it when I was stationed in Afghanistan.
McPherson.
What, in 1980?
Well, there's still some speakers there.
McPherson would like to plug the mic or whatever, take it away from his face, lean over to Jason, motion at his ear cup, and then say, "I wonder if this isn't the Chechnyan arms dealer."
Do you have a bar of gold?
Yeah, but I also have citizenship.
Okay, we roll the credits then. Roll the credits.
We're mercenaries.
Roll the credits. The camera zooms in on the bar of gold in somebody's hand.
Yeah.
We're mercenaries.
We got out. That's
dude.
what we needed.
We got out.
The end.
Hell of a novel to write in 30 years. Thanks, Brown.
Wow.
I'm going to start a rugby team. I don't know about you guys.
Was he actually the arms dealer?
We don't know.
Game Master's not telling.
Fair enough. That was good. That was good.
was
That
good.
was some M. Night Shyamalan stuff going on at the end.
Some
Very well
Shyamalan
done.
ding dong.
I hope everyone enjoyed this multi-week run through Kyle Schuant's conflict. It's got a little twisty, a little crooked there at the end, but in the overall, very tense. I was on the edge of my seat. I honestly thought it was going to be, I don't know, not good, sort of an Alamo type situation. But Kyle, thank you so much for
Well,
running.
if the dice had gone slightly differently, he could have. But, let the dice fall where they may.
Let the dice fall where they may. So Kyle and I are going to put our heads together and see what's going to be run next. Thank you, Michael, for the super earlier. Thank you, everyone, for your comments. If you haven't, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Click the bell icon for notifications. We do fun tabletop RPG stuff 5 nights a week here on the show. We have great guests. We've got a great guest coming tomorrow. Tomorrow we have who do we have tomorrow? we have Richard Witters is going to be on here talking about art, working for WotC, working on fantasy stuff and his own project. Robert Phillips wants more Traveler again. I don't know. It's kind of
my basic 3 things that I've got swirling around in my head are more conflict, Traveler, or a D&D hex scroll. Just a really traditional start at first level, 3d6 down the line, hex scroll, 1 hex at a time, one mile hex at a time, little town on the edge of the wilderness that's trying to establish itself. And as you go and clear out the surrounding hexes of monsters, you level up. So eventually, because when you're Lord level, like around 9th level or something, you're meant to establish a stronghold and clear the surrounding hexes of monsters. Well, How about you just make it the campaign to do that? And by the time you're 9th level, you will have cleared the surrounding hexes and also have acquired enough treasure to build that stronghold.
Well, I as a perma
the
DM,
idea.
not hate a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, but it is up ultimately to Kyle and the audience. I mean, hey, if there's a great
now,
few
this game will be open to all paying members and Patreons and everything of Bill's channel. So, and you can have that for like $2 a month. So, if you think it's worth $2 a month to participate in the game, then do so. If you don't think it, okay, no offense taken, but
maybe as little as a buck over on Patreon to $2 on YouTube.
I wasn't aware of the Patreon.
Yeah, I can't unfortunately set the prices, the low end prices on YouTube. I don't think so. $2 to support us on YouTube, $1 to support us on Patreon, and you can have a shot at a seat. But that's up to the game master, who is Kyle.
Yeah. So just come and talk to us in the Discord. There won't be a game next week. So we've got, like a couple of weeks to talk about it and prepare. But certainly everyone who's gamed with me so far is welcome to do so again. And we'll talk about what we're interested in, which, as I said, my thoughts are more conflict. And it could be conflict in the modern world, or could turn post-apocalyptic if you think that'd be cool and fun. You arrive back to the US, but it's not quite the same. But at least your gold's useful now.
Right.
And not as useful as ammo and cans of Spam, but still.
If you are watching this in the future, like anytime past 2 weeks, that Discord link won't work. So I'm just warning you now, that Discord link won't work. Not because of me, because of Discord. They say, oh, it's a permanent link. No, it's not. It's not.
So conflict, Traveler in my setting, and D&D Hexcrawl. That will be the choices.
Alrighty. Well, thank you to everyone who played. Bill T, Jason, Kennec. Again, thank you, Kyle, for running it. It was,
and I think some of the regular viewers, if they've got time to watch all the time, they've got time to play, so they should join in.
There you go. Well, Lux says there's a way to set YouTube memberships as low as 99 cents. I'll look into it. It seemed like a hard floor, but I will look into it. I'm not trying to wring, that extra buck out of you guys, but I would
be. I would wring every last buck out.
I would. So, thank you all again. I'm going to push these guys out of the way, and I'm going to warn you people, keep your eyes peeled for those owl bears. And thanks again to the players and to Kyle. I will see you all tomorrow night. Richard Witters will be here. Peace.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere, in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around, some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle, way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to